We got a new heavyweight champion of the world, IBF champion. I'm not satisfied. It was a bullshit fight. And it was a fight where new IBF champion Charles Martin proved nothing. We wanted to actually see him go the distance against a good, solid fighter, not a great fighter in Czar Glazkov. But Czar Glazkov got, I guess he hyperextended his knee. It was in the second round. He didn't, he wasn't able, during the short period that the fight was, he wasn't able to get it on the inside against Charles Martin. Charles Martin literally shown us, what did he show us? He showed us nothing. And I'm thinking to myself, they stripped Tyson Fury for Charles Martin, an unknown heavyweight who the biggest name and the most known name and the only name really on his record is Czar Glazkov, and it ends like that. I believe it should be a rematch, but it's likely not going to be a rematch. The referee asked Czar Glazkov, could he continue? But you can clearly see that something was wrong with his knee. Showtime even went and showed the slow motion replay of his knee literally dislocating and popping back in. T Street Controversy. This is T Street Controversy Live. I cover every single major fight live. I said that if Charles Martin was going to be our heavyweight champion, he had to win in spectacular fashion, and also he had to put on a good show. So now we just have a heavyweight champion who really can't sell anywhere, and he's still unknown, and he didn't put a dent in our imagination of what he could possibly be. We don't know who Charles Martin is still. And I've been watching as many interviews and as many of the few fights that you could possibly watch of him on YouTube to try to see if this guy can actually be good or not. And it's a shame because when it comes to a fight where you got Tyson Fury in the audience, when you got Alexander Povetkin in the audience, when you got Mike Tyson in the audience, Evander Holyfield, Lennox Lewis, and God knows who else, I'm thinking that for the opening fight on Showtime, he was like, this was the fight I was looking forward to the most. I was looking forward to this fight more than I was looking forward to the Wilder versus Szpilka fight, because I wanted to see if this guy's fighting for a heavyweight championship, a piece of the heavyweight championship. I want to see how good he is. Now, when it comes to his mandatories, there's really not much, put it this way, when it comes to the mandatories, there's really not much room for him to fight nobodies. When it comes to the IBF, they're the most strict organization of the WBC, the WBO, the IBF, and the WBA. They force their mandatories. If you don't fight your mandatory, you will get stripped. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at the rankings of the IBF, and we're going to see who he has to fight next. Now, when it comes to the top 15, he has to fight somebody in the top 15 as is voluntary. You have Vladimir Klitschko, Erkan Teeper. He's suspended. Artur Szpilka, who's fighting Deontay Wilder. Steve Cunningham is supposed to be moving back down to cruiserweight, and in my opinion, he's the guy that's supposed to be in Czar Glazkov's face, because the reason why Czar Glazkov got this shot is because a year ago he defeated Steve Cunningham in a controversial decision. You got Anthony Joshua, who's ranked very high by the WBC. I doubt that he'll go for Charles Martin. I don't know. The IBF could order it. You got Carlos Takam, who will be a great fight for Charles Martin next. You got Joseph Parker, Andy Ruiz, Bermain Severn, Kubrat Pulev, Derek Chisora. Do I feel that Charles Martin can beat any of those guys? I really don't know, because we really don't know who Charles Martin is. He's a heavyweight, 6'5", about 250 pounds. He weighed in the most he's ever weighed in as, and a southpaw. But we really don't know where to rank him, because we haven't seen punch variety from him. We haven't seen foot movement from him. And it's just because the way the fight ended. We haven't seen him throw punches in bunches. We haven't been able to see him control the ring, ring generalship. And then when it comes to Czar Glazkov, you can't really feel sorry for him, because he's had 2 gift decisions. And also, when it comes to a fight like Czar Glazkov, who didn't have the height or the weight advantage, we knew that it was going to take maybe 1 to 3 to 4 rounds for him to be able to get in on the inside and find a rhythm. So what do we see? What do we get? We get a fight it just you know, I'm pissed because I'm thinking like I wanted to see a fight. You know, Charles Martin, I mean, you can't really be mad at him that Czar Glazkov got injured, you know, but at the same time, it's like, you know, you're not going to give the man a rematch. And it's like, where do you really go from here? You know, does your next fight, I mean, you know what I mean? Are fighters going to duck you because you don't bring in any money? Or are fighters going to fight you because they feel, oh, you're unknown and like a power probably beats you? Charles Martin looks, I mean, sorry, I'm not, you know, he looks slow. But the Deontay Wilder fight is coming on right now. T-Street Controversy. This is T-Street Controversy Live. I already named the possible next opponents of Czar Glazkov. Will Tyson Fury or Vladimir Klitschko try to use one of their voluntaries to try to get that belt back? Well, Tyson Fury, if he wins, he pretty much said he doesn't want to fight for the IBF anymore. I would like to see an Anthony Joshua possibly go after a Charles Martin. You know, Deontay Wilder, if he defeats Artur Szpilka, he can use that as his next voluntary, but then he has to defeat Alexander Povetkin before he can have another voluntary. So, you know, it's an enigma. It's a puzzle with this Charles Martin dude, and it's crazy because he's one of our heavyweight champions of the world, and he's American. I'm T-Street Controversy. This is T-Street Controversy Live. I cover every single major fight live. Please subscribe.